Okay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do another coin roll hunting video. I have the stand like sort of in front of me, so I'm gonna really try hard not to knock it. But we did pick up 10 rolls of nickels and we got 20 rolls of pennies. Sort of like last time, what we're looking for is anything that's kind of cool, maybe war nickels, maybe buffalo nickels, maybe proof nickels. We're going to set aside everything from 1964 and below, and we're going to keep those as well. So S mint marks, right? Any of that kind of stuff in these is what we're going to keep. And then with the pennies, obviously we're looking for copper, we're looking for wheat. It'd be really cool to find some Indian head pennies. I don't even know if that's possible anymore. But funny little story. I did pick up 10 rolls of nickels at my bank, my credit union. But they gave me, all they had was fresh, brand new 2021's, which I have a few of those stashed away, like some Loomis 2021's. But I wanted to, look through nickels. So what I did was I took those 10 rolls that I got from my bank and I took them to the Walmart bank, and it was just so awkward. You know what I mean? It's kind of, it does feel kind of weird going in asking people this, but I basically exchanged, I had to exchange the new rolls for these rolls, and they were cool about it, right? But the bank at Walmart, they want me to get an account there, and so you know how this goes. I'll probably end up having to open up at least a checking account, because I do go to the Walmart bank as well. Even though I don't have an account there, they give me customer wrapped rolls like this. And then I got 20 pennies. I originally asked for 10, but then he thought that I had said $10 worth. And so I was like, well, sure, yeah, I'll take it. If you can give me 20 pennies, sure. But I felt like I was cleaning them out with the pennies. Got a cup of Joe as well, so we're ready for this coin roll hunt. Yeah, this is just something I do for fun. I mean, I do it for stacking purposes as well. I do think holding any sort of monetary metal is probably not a bad idea, whether that be copper or nickel. The nickels are, I think they're 75% copper, 25% nickel. So I do it kind of as a hedge against inflation, but I'm not like super serious about that, right? This is more like a hobby. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy taking some of my profits out of the market and, doing this for fun. But I do think in the future, older nickels, copper pennies, I think premiums on this stuff could go up. I think in my 80s, right, I may be able to liquidate with some kind of small profit. But that being said, it's mostly for fun and just the, the history of America, the love for the coins, the history, the historical value, the monetary value. Somebody in the comment section, I think it was Ross, introduced me to a website called, I think it's Rare World Metals Mint. And they have like little ounce bullion coins of everything from nickel to some metal called iridium that's like over $3,000 an ounce. So there's other metals out there, and just commodities in general, they're probably going to rise, right? If the CRB, or is it the CBR? It might be the CBR index. If that continues to rise, commodities are going up, which means, I mean, the nickel value in these is already, I think, 7 or 8 cents. The copper value in pennies is already like 4 or 5 cents. So, it's something to consider. Definitely something to consider. But let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to take another sip of the coffee here. I think we're going to start with the nickels. That's usually what I do. And I'm going to film some of this, and we're just going to see, what happens. All right. So what I do is I pretty much just kind of scan it. If I don't see anything super interesting, I just start looking at these one by one. And it looks like we have a 85. Not too interesting. This is a 48. I'm loving this. Look at that, 48. This is the kind of stuff I love. I keep this. Couple years off from being a war nickel, but we are going to set that aside. We'll set it right there. That'll be our stash. Let's see, what do we have here? 95. And then I'm going to stack the ones that I don't want, by tens, probably below the camera view. And then we can just roll them back up later. Let's see here. That's 78, not too interesting. 2012. Let's see. 88. I'm definitely looking for S mint mark, so if I see any of those, I will definitely be halfway excited about that. Let's see, what do we got here? 86p. 75. You know, sometimes the first couple of rolls, you don't really see much and you think it's going to be kind of a lame session, but then bam, you find something super special in roll 2 or 3. So I'll come back in a couple of minutes. Still on roll 1, but I do like these modern buffaloes. These are the Lewis and Clark nickels. There's 4 different ones. I'll show them to you as we go through these rolls. But this is a 2005 Lewis and Clark nickel. They basically made, from 2004 to 2005, to commemorate Lewis and Clark's journey, they made nickels that had a different reverse. And the 2005s actually have this obverse here. But I like these. They kind of, you know, it's an ode to the original Buffalo nickels. So I basically keep these, and I'm trying to come up with entire rolls of these Lewis and Clark nickels. Okay, so we got through that first roll. Let's go ahead and check out the second roll here. Let's see what we got. Maybe we'll find something cool. You know, I'm hoping to find maybe a Buffalo. One time I found a proof coin from the Walmart rolls. I did find a proof coin, so that was super, super cool. And I also look for 2009'S because those are extremely, extremely rare. It's the lowest mint year ever. And in the second roll, we do have another Buffalo for the Lewis and Clark's. Just a cool design. Makes for good bullion. And look at this, still on the second roll, our third Buffalo. This one's very nice. Look at that. Very, very nice. So yeah, we're going to set that aside. That makes for 3 of those. All right, roll 3. So I was watching the oil markets. It looks like the oil futures may have found a bottom, but they really did pull back today. Pulled back with the entire market. The oil stocks as well pulled back. And the way I'm trying to play this is because of the you know, the OPEC meeting that didn't go through and they haven't rescheduled. That means they're not going to be producing the 2 million extra barrels a day that they were talking about. So we do have potentially supply constraints. And, you know, the way I think I'm going to play this is I did buy a couple of call contracts, actually under my brother's account. I'm trading his account too. Bought some calls, the $64 strike price for ExxonMobil. But I bought it for a week out and then 2 weeks out. Or I should say 2 weeks out and then 3 weeks out. So I think it's like the 16th and then the 20-something, you know, for the dates. So we'll see how that goes. I think ExxonMobil, I think the oil will probably rally this month. It did pull back in a big way today. But let's see. Maybe it found a bottom. We'll just have to see. But it was pretty exciting watching the oil futures. 1977. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating because you see a nickel, right? It looks, you look at the back, you're like, oh my gosh, that could be really old. And then you look at the date, and it's, I mean, 77's old, but not old enough for me to set aside and keep. You know what I'm saying? What do we got here? 2003. But yeah, I looked through every single one of these. I really enjoy this. I think it's a lot of fun. 99. It's a lot of fun, and you know, get to stack some nickel. Like I was saying, that rare worlds mint, rare metals world mint. Look at all the crud on that one. They do sell all kinds of things. They sell, you know, iridium and osmium. They sell ounces of lead and all kinds of stuff. Zinc. There was another one too called cobalt. You know, I thought about just, you know, kind of for the not the vanity, but the what's that word? Not the vanity. I don't know why I keep thinking of that. The novelty. That's what I was trying to say. you know, picking up a couple ounces of copper or maybe cobalt. I think the copper ounces are definitely a ripoff because they're usually selling copper bullion for, you know, 2 or 3 times what its actual weight is. So there's no way you're going to get that premium back anytime soon. I think the best way to stack copper and nickel is just this. You know, if you want to stack nickel, go get rolls of nickels. If you want to stack copper, make sure, if you're going to do this though, if you think you might be into coin roll hunting or you want to give it a try, make sure you get customer wrapped rolls if you can, because a lot of the times the pre-wrapped rolls, I don't have any in front of me, but oh, I think this is another Lewis and Clark. Yep. Ocean in View. Oh, the joy. I like this one. Another 2005. I'm going to set that over there with those. The rolls, oh, look at that, 1953. It's a little cruddy, but I'll take it. I'll take it. That's a very neat little part of American history there. Put it in that pile. What was I saying? Yeah, sometimes the rolls that come from the Fed or that come from the banks, they will be mixed. You know, I have found really good coins like Buffaloes. I found war nickels because my credit union, they get their coins straight from the Federal Reserve. But a lot of times the Fed is just wrapping up brand new coins and sending those out to the bank. So you want to try and get these customer wrapped rolls because this is your best bet to find something unique, your best bet to have a nice variety of older coins to look through. All right, this is getting ridiculous. This is number 4 on the Lewis and Clark Buffalo. But isn't that a cool design? I know I've said that already, but you know, they're kind of like paying homage to the 1930s Buffalo. The last couple of coins out of roll 3, a 1957. Very, very cool. What's that star? Is that on all of them? Yeah, I guess so. It looked a little bit different because this one was so old. But yeah, I'm still memorizing what the nickels look like. That is very cool. I like that. 1957. Put that in that pile right there. Another thing I really, another idea about the coin roll hunting and the stacking nickels that I really like is that it's kind of a risk-free investment because even if, you know, these nickels never become worth anything, right, the older ones, or even if the premiums don't go up, it's a risk-free investment because you can still take it back and it's still worth the face value. You know, that's what's kind of cool about this. They'll always be worth the face value until, you know, the government says, oh, they're not. And even if they do discontinue this stuff, they will probably let you know in advance and give you time to, you know, make deposits or whatever. But I think when we do go to a cashless system, the coins are going to be the very first thing to go. 79. The coins are going to be the very first thing to go before the paper currency. I think we got plenty of time to stack the paper. It's the coins that I think are going to disappear first. You know, I mean, they're even talking about making, I mean, God forbid, plastic coins. I just can't imagine us exchanging plastic. You know, but a lot of people wouldn't know the difference. A lot of people wouldn't care. It wouldn't matter to them. Look, we got another Oh, the Joy. Ocean in View, Oh, the Joy. I think this is like a state park or something. Let me see what the rest of it says. It says 1805, Lewis and Clark, 1805. Yeah, just a cool coin. A lot of crud on this one, so it's hard to see exactly what it says. Oh, I think we got an old one right here. What does this say? 1964. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. I actually made, yesterday, I made 2 rolls because I have a huge collection of all of these old nickels, and I had 2 rolls worth of 64s with some left over. We've got 2 Lewis and Clarks in a row, and what is this one? Let's see here. Look at that, 1947, about 2 more years. 1945, that would have been a silver war nickel. Maybe we'll find one. But yeah, we've got the Buffalo again, lots of Buffaloes today. And we've also got this Lewis and Clark. It says United States of America, Lewis and Clark, 5 cents. Yeah, it's some kind of, I guess it's the boat that they traveled on. So that's another one of the Lewis and Clark nickels. Pretty cool stuff. Always love those designs. Yeah, we are blasting our way through these nickels. I never thought I would be into money or, really be into personal finance. Just never really been the type of person. But I don't know what happened during CV19 and everything that went down. I got into stocks. I wish I had gotten into, physical stacking first. But I remember I thought gold and silver, I thought the idea was kind of silly. I think I heard like a Warren Buffett video where he was trashing on gold and silver. But, I've made a lot of changes the last couple of years, last year or so. And, I take my personal finances very seriously now. And, I love trading. I love pulling money out of the markets. I love stacking silver. And I love just collecting coins, collecting money. I've got some silver certificates. I've got some star notes, right? Stacking my cash. It's fun. I don't know what it is. It's just a lot of fun being your own bank, feeling like you're not relying on the banking system. There's just something very cool about it. It's very creative. It's more creative than a lot of people would think, especially, trading and stacking, because you can do it any way that you want to. You can stack what you want to stack. You can stack any kind of way, stack as much as you want. You can trade however you want, trade whatever you want. It's a very, it's almost an artistic endeavor, I would say, in some ways. Though you don't want to be too, artistic or emotional about this kind of stuff. You want to try to think logically about all your financial decisions, but, I don't mind spending a couple $100, every month or so to try to find some cool treasure. It's also just about having treasure, having a safe full of treasure, full of different coins and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I would, a year ago or so, I would have never thought that I would have gotten into this kind of stuff. 62. That's a keeper. Look at that. Let's see. Obviously, the steps are completely gone, but I will definitely take a 62. We found a nicer 2004 Lewis and Clark. Yeah, because some of the Lewis and Clarks, they have the original obverse, and they're from 2004. The 2005s have the kind of different looking obverse. But yeah, that's a nice design. I like that. Very historical, very Americana. Something I was thinking about is one of my favorite movies right now is The Big Short. If you guys haven't seen that, I definitely highly recommend it. It has Christian Bale in it. Christian Bale did a really, really excellent job portraying the short investor Michael Burry. Though I don't know if Michael Burry actually acts like that. He does listen to metal music, though. Michael Burry likes Pantera and Metallica and thrash metal. And in the movie The Big Short, Christian Bale playing Michael Burry. Come on. This is blurry. He was listening to metal music. But The Big Short is a great movie. I watched it twice because I watched it by myself and then I watched it with the fam, trying to get them into trading and caring about their finances and stuff. And yeah, the Big Short, it's great. Like if you need trade inspiration, The Big Short is a movie to watch. That guy was down like almost 200% for 2 years before his, his put contracts, his credit swaps on the housing bonds before, there's like a hair on it. Before they finally paid off, he was down because he was early. The crash didn't happen until 2008. Michael Burry bought his puts in 2005, 2006. So he was down. Investors were pulling out of his fund. It's really kind of an inspirational story, too, because he knew he was right, but everybody was telling him he was wrong. But, he ended up making like $1 billion off of that trade. So, obviously most of us are not in that league necessarily. Not that we couldn't be, but, I just get trade inspiration from it. I also like the documentary Floored. If you guys want to know more about like trading and how it, you know, just the history of trading, the history of like open outcry trading. Yeah, imagine going to a pit and like screaming at the top of your lungs trying to get a fill. That stuff looks crazy, but that's how people used to trade, you know, those pit traders. But there's this documentary called Floored, and it's about how the computer trading, right, the computer retail trading came in gradually, but over a course of like 10, 15 years, put a lot of those open outcry traders out of business because, you know, the spreads weren't as wide, there wasn't as much opportunity. So the documentary is called Floored. I highly recommend it, especially if you want, you know, like I said, trade inspiration. Definitely check that out. Let's see what we got. Just kind of scanning this. This looks like an old one. Let's see. Is it old? 47. This is like the third 47 that we found today. I will take it. I'll definitely take it. I think I put this one. No, I didn't. Thought I put one of them in the wrong pile. See, this one looks old and cruddy. What's the date on this? 85. That sucks. Screw the 85s. Do you see what I see? I don't think it's a war nickel, but 1 year off from being a war nickel, 1946. If this was 45, there'd be a mint mark right there, maybe a P or an S. Did they make S mint marks? P, maybe it's P and yeah, it might be S. I think I have a P and an S. I have two different mint marks. I'll have to break out my silver war nickels, but this isn't a war nickel. Wish it was. It would have been nice. All right, so we are blasting through these 10 rolls of nickels. So far, we haven't found a whole lot, I'm afraid. You know, we found a stack of oldies and a small stack of 2004s, 2005 Lewis and Clark's, but we still got 3 more to go. I might take a break after this roll and start on the pennies because, damn, we got a shitload of pennies to look through. But let's see, this one, 61. All right, we got a 61 so far in this roll here. Let's just kind of skim this, see if we see anything else that we want to pick out. Not seeing anything real special, but, you know, 61, 68. Is that an S mint mark? Let's see. It is an S mint mark, so that is very cool. I don't know why. They're probably not rare, but they're kind of rare on the East Coast. You know, the San Francisco Mint. I just don't see the S mint mark, and I don't think the San Francisco Mint was in operation that long, like at least making nickels. That's why I always pull these out, and I have a whole stack of San Francisco Mint. So I'll start a second pile there for that one. I just like it. Don't ask me why. It's a reason to hoard the nickel, right? I mean, as if you need a reason to hoard the nickel, but the more reasons to hoard a nickel, the better. And here is the other. This is the 4th Lewis and Clark. I think we've seen them all. We saw the boat, like the barge, the buffalo, the Joy, and then there's this one here, which I guess is the Louisiana Purchase, commemorating the Louisiana Purchase. I think wasn't that Benjamin Franklin bought that from France? Anyway, we really expanded the country through the Louisiana Purchase, and yeah, it's just really historical. 1803 was the year that happened. So yeah, those are the 4 Lewis and Clark designs. All right, here's a couple cool ones. We got a 58. I'll definitely take it. My dad was like a teenager in 58. Put that right there. And we have another Lewis and Clark. Yep. Oh, the Joy. Got a lot of these. I think I actually built a couple of rolls of those as well. Another thing I want to mention is the 2009'S. You really don't understand how rare they are until you start looking for them in coin rolls. And you never see them, right? You see a lot of 2008's. You see tons of 2010's. But I only have 1 2009 nickel. I think I have 4 2009 quarters. The pennies are a little bit easier to find. The 2009 pennies, if we see any, I'll show them to you. Those are the ones that commemorate the different stages of Lincoln's life. So those are pretty cool. They have, you know, different reverses than the normal pennies. But Yeah, try and look for 2009s. I'm telling you, they are, especially in nickels, extremely, extremely hard to find. I'm cooking as well, cooking brown rice right now, getting ready for dinner while I look through these coins. So I was going to take a break from the nickels, but we got 3 more rolls to go. Let's bust them out. So, so far today, the nickels haven't yielded too much, but, I'll stack old nickels all day long. I got nothing better to do, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, what do we got here? A 74. Let's see, 2008, right? Not a 2009. And the reason the 2009s are so rare is because it's the lowest mintage year ever, like literally ever. Here's another ocean view. And the reason for that is because of the financial crisis. The mints didn't have metal, there were supply issues, the global financial system was collapsing. I mean, it was a mess. That's another reason. Look at that, 1940. That's actually my dad's birth date. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. That's another reason you got to watch The Big Short, because it goes into the history of 2008, another Buffalo, and I think especially if you're getting into personal finances, if you're getting into investing, if you're getting into trading, knowing the history of the 2008, financial meltdown is, it's helpful to know, what happened. And the Big Short really does explain all of it pretty, they explain it in a way that's very easy to understand. And I recognize, like, some of that could be propaganda, like some of the things in The Big Short, like the banks were just, stupid, right? They weren't actually trying to mess people up or screw people over. They were just being stupid. There could be some propaganda in The Big Short, but I think for the most part, it seems to be pretty accurate, and it portrays these guys that, shorted the housing market, like Michael Burry and Mark Baum. It portrays them not as heroes necessarily or anything, because they did. They bet against America, and they also profited off of America's downfall. So it doesn't really portray them as heroes, but yeah, it's like the reality of the situation, and they were just really, really good traders. They saw a trade that nobody else was paying attention to, and nobody wanted to believe. And I guess going against the grain and going against consensus. 2006 was my graduation year, though I did not graduate. I got a GED. Fun fact. But yeah, going against the consensus and being a contrarian, as long as you're right, it will definitely pay off. But you also have to time it correctly too, because remember, Michael Burry was down 200% for 2 years before his trade finally paid off in 2008. So I want to make sure that I get this on camera. I think I see a war nickel over here. So we're going to pick this up. This is very, very cool. This will be the 4th one that I have found. And let's see. 1944. Ladies and gentlemen, 1944 with a P mint mark. This is a silver war nickel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I do this. I really do enjoy it. This is such a cool little treasure to find. It's probably about 80 cents, maybe $1 worth of nickel. It's only $1 worth of silver. It's only about 35% silver. But, to think that this nickel is actually worth more like $1. Like if you went into a bullion shop, you're going to pay at least $1 for these things, maybe even more, because they're kind of rare. There's a premium on them. But this is why I look through the nickels, because there are war nickels still out there. I mean, they're everywhere. And yeah, that is really cool. I'm so blessed. If the rest of the hunt yields nothing, it was all worth it. It was all worth it just to find this 1944 silver war nickel. Yeah, so cool. Absolutely, absolutely cool. I'm going to have to add that. I have 3 others. So this is now the 4th one that I've found. So cool, man. I get chills just, oh, I'm so grateful. This is awesome. This is super, super cool. What is that? 85. Yeah, if the rest of the hunt yields nothing, you know, I'll be A-okay. We're going to set that aside right back there. So yeah, you know, I was saying earlier, it's like we weren't really finding a whole lot, and you just never know. You could have 10 rolls of nickels and you don't find anything, and then the very last roll, you come across something cool like that, a buffalo, a war nickel. That'd be really cool if we found a buffalo in this session. But yeah, I am very, very happy. You know, that's why I coin roll hunt. And I really don't think, you know, I haven't tried searching through dimes because that, you know, that gets kind of expensive. I search through quarters every once in a while because I need laundry money, so I get the quarters. You know, I get 3 or 4 rolls for laundry. Look at that, 1940. Not a war nickel, but still old as hell. I'm definitely going to keep that. You know, I look through quarters sometimes too, but they don't really yield much. Like with the nickels, you can actually find cool stuff. I've found silver. I've found buffaloes. I've found proof nickels before. So there's just, yeah, I just don't think the other denominations like the quarter or the dime, from my experience, they just don't yield a whole lot. But maybe if I focused more on quarters, maybe if I focused more on dimes, I could, maybe I'd find stuff. I was working at a pizza shop for a couple of months late last year. And, you know, when I was looking through the counting the change one night, I came across a silver dime. And I was kind of looking for stuff, you know, because I was counting money. So I was like, well, I may as well keep my eye out. And, you know, you could see that silver dime from a mile away. Had no copper in it. So that was pretty cool. Not sure, but this one looks like it could be an error coin. You can see, like, the edge. I forget exactly what this is called, but the edge is like, see how it's a little thicker? It kind of looks, I don't know, does it look funny? Maybe it's just worn. I'm not really into error coins. I don't know exactly how to spot them. That kind of looks like it could be an error. I'm not exactly sure. Like if you hold it up to a another nickel, you know, it just, I don't know. To me, it looks kind of funny. You can see how it's it just looks funny on that side right there. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. I'm not really into errors because it's hard to spot them. There's so many of them, and finding a buyer for them, I don't know. Maybe I'll get into error coins someday. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you collect error coins? Do you look for error coins? The only error coin that I really look for... Oh, I do think I have an... yeah, it's an aluminum penny from 1974. I might have one of those. Shh. Don't say anything because they're highly illegal to own. But yeah, I do think I found one of those. I could be wrong though. But I'm going to take it to a coin shop and see if they can appraise it for me. But if it is aluminum, it's like, I don't know, the penny's going to be worth a lot of money. But what was I saying? I was about to say something super important. Yeah, the error coins, you know, let me know. Oh yeah, the one error coin that I do look for is the Wisconsin quarter that has like the extra corn leaf. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's like a cow in a cornfield on the reverse of the quarter. It's one of the state quarters. Anyways, I always look at that one. When I see it, I look for the extra leaf. It's the only error that I've really memorized. I don't even know how to tell like a double die from a reverse double die. There's so many different kinds of errors. So yeah, you know, not bad. We found a nice stack of the Lewis and Clark nickels. We found a nice stack of old nickels. We found this beautiful, beautiful war nickel from 1944 with the P mint mark, and we found the S mint mark from 1968. Now, let's get to the good stuff and start looking through these rolls of pennies, hopefully mostly copper pennies. I got a hunch that there's a lot of copper, maybe even some wheat pennies, maybe even a wheat penny from the early teens. Maybe we'll even find Indian head pennies. I heard a story about a guy that found a gold piece from the 1800s in a roll of pennies. Is it possible? It's definitely possible. Not probable, but, I'll take my chances. Those were some of the cleanest nickels I think I've ever gone through. My hands are not even that dirty. Let's actually move those a little bit further, give us some more room here. So yeah, like I said, definitely looking for copper. I think stacking copper for free like this, nothing wrong with it. In fact, I recommend it just to kind of diversify a little bit, have another commodity besides gold and silver. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some copper in here. We're looking for wheat pennies as well. We're looking for 2009'S. We'll probably find some 2009'S. And maybe Canadians, right? Just anything like that. All right, let's see. Can't even read that. What in the hell does that say? I think it says 1980. You can't really tell. Yeah, you can see 1980. So this is copper. It's grimy copper, but it's still copper. We're definitely going to keep that one. Yeah, this roll looked like it had more copper in it. Let's see. 1969. That's definitely copper. So anything from 81 and below is definitely copper. At least if it's American. Wow, look at that. 1959. Almost a wheat penny, guys. Almost a wheat penny. The 82s, I do keep them, but they're not usually copper. I know they made copper pennies for like maybe 6 months or so in 82. So I usually set them aside to weigh them later. It's 85. Sometimes like the 85s, they look older than the copper pennies do. So I do keep all the 82s to maybe weigh at a point in time in the future. But yeah, 81 and below is copper. Look at that. That looks ancient. 85 though. It's not that ancient. Ooh, 1966. Think Rosemary's Baby. Well, we'll definitely keep that. Not for the satanic numerology, but because it's copper. This one's pretty bright. 1980. It's kind of cruddy, but it's got that nice red tint to it. We'll put that in a separate pile. Sometimes I keep the shiny ones in a bag just to sort of, look at and fondle. Does anybody else fondle their metal? And then I'll put like the cruddy, gross, dirty looking copper coins in rolls. That is very, very nice. I like that. Put that in the shiny pile right there. We've covered this a couple of times on my channel, but, another reason I'm doing this is basically, it's Gresham's Law. It's kind of like just part of human nature. Bad money drives out good. And so with the pennies being zinc nowadays, it just makes the copper ones, I can't read this on the camera. What the hell does that say? I think it says 95. The copper ones are just so much more valuable now because they've devalued the currency so much, They've devalued it so much. What is that, an 82? So yeah, we're going to set this one aside, and at a later date, when I get a scale, I will weigh all of my 82s. We'll put it in the back there so we don't get it confused with the coppers. Let me put it over here so you guys can see it. So yeah, Gresham's Law, very important concept because it's true, that this is what happened with silver. It happened in ancient Rome, right, when they tried to pay the centurions. I forgot which emperor it was, but he tried to pay them, copper, silver-plated copper instead of silver coins. And the, the soldiers, the army, they weren't having it. They wanted silver. They wanted to be paid in silver. But, this has been going on throughout history. Now imagine, look at that, 62. Imagine you know, in ancient Babylon, right? They had copper coins. That's a very weird looking penny. They had copper coins, they had silver coins, they had gold bullion in ancient Babylon. But imagine how crude like the copper would have been. The copper probably would have just been, you know, like kind of like a shard. I don't think their coin technology was as good as ours. But see, what I'm thinking too is that even with these zinc pennies, right? Because you can buy zinc bullion from Rare World Metals Mint, I think is what it's called. Rare World Metals Mint, I think is what that website is called. You know, they'll sell you zinc, ounces of zinc bullion. And so if we ever see the government and the mint go from zinc coins to you know, plastic or some even cheaper alloy, it's quite possible that the zincs will be hoarded, collected, and be considered, you know, more valuable. So basically, you know, as they introduce more money, as they expand the money supply, you know, the bad money drives out the good. As they devalue and debase the currency, the bad money drives out the good money, and the good money ends up being hoarded. And the bad money is the money that is used to, you know, to make exchanges and stuff in the economy. Type down below if you know how many ounces of copper, like how many pennies it takes to make an ounce of copper. I want to say it's like 12 or 15, but we have almost probably a couple of ounces right now. Maybe an ounce so far that we found. So, you know, so far this is going pretty good. I really do enjoy this. This is a lot of fun for me. I think that says, I think it says 80. I think it says 89. Is that what that says? I'm going to go with 89. It's cruddy anyways. But yeah, we found probably about an ounce of copper so far. So yeah, I'm just going to keep going through these. We're going to keep stacking that copper. See, what is that? 75. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad at all. But yeah, from like a prepper's point of view, a prepper's standpoint, I mean, I know a lot of people say stack gold and silver because you can barter with it. But I think you would, you know, in a SHTF type of situation, I think you'd be able to barter with copper as well. You know, it's not silver, but somebody would still probably recognize copper coins for what they are, you know, of some sort of monetary value. And, you know, it's just another reason to maybe have some copper on hand, you know, just stack a variety of different things. Like, I think all of these commodities, like I said, with the CBR going up, these commodities could become a lot more valuable than they are today. Yeah, for copper, these are very high quality rolls. I think we're like 3 rolls in. And, I mean, look at this stack of copper we have already. So this is a very, very good sign. The hunt for copper is going well. Now we just need to find a couple of wheat pennies, you know, going with the silver war nickel. That would really make my day. You know, I made $600 this morning on PayPal on a scalp. I'm up about 15% on my oil trade so far. So, you know, finding a couple of wheat pennies right now, that would just be the cherry on top of this wonderful, wonderful day. What is in my finger? I think it's like crud from the coins. 82. We're going to set that aside back there. So, yeah, let's keep busting through these. This is always cool, right? We're getting 10 cents more than we deserve. Just a 2020 dime. It's a pretty nice dime, though. I don't really collect the dimes. I mean, I have a bunch of silver dimes. I actually bought barber dimes the other day. But maybe I'll just throw that over there. You know, hey, at least we're, I guess you could call that a small gain, right? A small profit off of this roll. But yeah, lots of copper in these rolls. Is that copper? Yep, 75. Remember, 82 and below. Let me know if you guys like this format. Please do comment down below, what you like about the format. Do you collect coins? Do you coin roll hunt yourself? Let me know if you want to see more of these type of videos, because I do this about once a week at least, and I would love to do more content like this as long as you guys are digging it. It just came to me too, another documentary, for some of you guys out there and girls that are trading. If you need some like trade inspiration, there's a documentary about Paul Tudor Jones. This guy's pretty cool. I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago in a news report video that I did, but there's a documentary from the 80s, and it's just cool to see how these people were trading back then. 82, they're like on the phone yelling at the broker. Much different style, much different style of trading method, and the technology was completely different. 77, look at that stack of copper's getting high. Look at that. That's a nice little stack right there. Look at this. That is a nice stack of copper. All of this so far in 4 or 5 rolls. But yeah, Paul Tudor Jones. Look up that documentary. Just look up Paul Tudor Jones documentary. I think it's called Trade or Trader. It's a very, very, very cool film. So yeah, I see a couple of good things in this already. First of all, look at that, 1963. Look at that. That's a beautiful penny. Kind of toned, not perfect, but the camera's not quite doing justice to the luster on this. I'm going to put that right there. But I see something even cooler. Do you guys see what I see? Check this out. There it is. Our first wheat penny of the hunt. Very nice. Not the best detail. A little worn. Right, not the best detail, but I don't know. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's flip it over and see what the year is. This is a 1951. Okay. Let's put that back there. We'll put those with the war nickels. Actually, we got the 82s back there. Put the war nickel here, and we'll put the wheat pennies in that pile. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm stoked. I'm thrilled. This is amazing. I'm probably going to have to go eat some dinner and come back and finish this because we're not even halfway through. So we're getting close to halfway there. Look at this one, though. I saw this. I had to turn. I almost don't want to touch it because my fingers are kind of dirty now. But look at that 1970. Look at the luster. Look at the red copper color to it. That is a nice one. I have a like a plastic roll that I put these real nice ones in, so that will probably go in there because that is that's a beautiful penny. I don't do the books, like look for. I don't have like a book where I put all these in, but I have a nice roll where I can kind of look at them when I want to and just kind of keep all the nice ones together. But yeah, out of this roll, I mean, look at all this copper we've already found. So pretty fantastic. These are high quality rolls. And they're customer wrapped, that's why. I have no idea what happened to this one, but that definitely looks like a 1969 penny. That is just, what in the heck happened to this? Did somebody eat it? Did it land in a sewer? It looks like somebody ate it and pooped it out. That's what it looks like. Oh well, it's going into the stack. I just put it right there. All right, here we go. Do you guys see it? I see it. I can see it from here. Yep. 1 cent wheat penny. Can barely see the wheat. Can barely see it there. You can see it like that. I gotta start holding it more like this. I think the lighting's better like that. See what year? 1948. Historical. So that's the second wheat penny that we found. I'll take it. All right, we back. I ate a little bit of dinner. So this is about an hour later. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're not even halfway done. After this roll, we'll be halfway done. So yeah, what's on the news lately? Well, we got the hurricane in Florida. Man, that building situation, that's just, I don't know what to say about it. I think there's something else going on here. Buildings do not just collapse, but I'm sure there's all kinds of conspiracy theories. And the January 6th nonsense, I don't know. I don't want to get too political right now, but in my opinion, what we saw, in the wake of the Floyd riots, that was much worse. It went on for longer. It was much more violent. It affected more Americans in more cities, right? But the reason they're crying about January 6th is because it was DC, right? If it happens to them, then we're all going to cry about it. But if it happens to ordinary Americans, if it happens to businesses, screw them, right? We're not going to cover that. We're going to pretend like it didn't even happen. Portland and parts of California are still not the same. They never will be, right? I mean, Portland is just under complete siege 24 hours a day. And, what we saw for weeks, a month or two, in my personal opinion, was much worse than anything that happened in DC. And, the mainstream media says every other day, oh, new footage, new FBI footage. It's like, first of all, the FBI, I mean, do I need to talk about Waco? Do I need to talk about, Oklahoma City? The FBI is not exactly a reliable source of information, especially when it's being filtered to us through the mainstream media. And people get mad about this kind of, what I'm saying here, but, that's the truth. It's like, this is one big psyop. January 6th, I'm convinced that something else is going on here. There were other state actors, deep state actors involved in starting the rioting. It wasn't an insurgency. It doesn't even match the definition of insurgency. But the other thing I'm very concerned about is this push for stabbies, right? They're really trying to convince us that, if you don't get your stabby, you're unprotected, right? The new variant, all that nonsense. I mean, I'm so over it, guys. I'm so over it. But this is how I see it, right? Biden says, we want to protect you. Go get your stabby, right? We want to protect you, right? If you want protection, go get your stabby, right? But the way I see it is if they really want to protect us and the new variant is that deadly, shut it down, right? If the new variant is that deadly, shut it down. Shut down the schools, shut down the economy, shut down the airports, shut it down, right? If you really want to protect us, and it's really that bad, and it's that much more deadly than the original strain, just shut it down. Put us in lockdown, right? If you really want to protect us. And they may, right? But I think most of us realize now that lockdowns don't work. It's spread just as easily with or without a lockdown. I cannot read that. That's like a dateless penny right there. So, that's just sort of how I feel about it. But I'm very nervous about what's going on. My brother actually has to go and get a notary signed to go back to school, right? Because he's not interested in poisoning himself. And I've seen so many videos of people collapsing after taking it. I've seen a lot of very strange footage of people passing out after taking it. And the other thing that Americans really need to understand, and I think a lot of Americans, the Americans that are jumping at the opportunity to get the stabby, this is not informed consent, right? They're actually brainwashing and deceiving Americans into getting this. these stabbies are still, you know, very much so in trial phases. And they were only authorized for emergency use, right? So these are very special extenuating circumstances that even, you know, was the reason they were able to get approved for emergency use. And they're still very much in trial. They're still very much being researched. And I don't want to be a guinea pig. I'm not going to be a guinea pig. I have no interest in being a guinea pig. And that's that. It's my fucking choice. You know what I'm saying? So if you with me, like up the video, comment down below. What does that say? I think that's 90s. That's how I feel about it, guys. I mean, I'm serious. This one looks pretty old. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Yep. There it is. There it is. I love these things. I love the wheat pennies. They're so cool. I'm going to put that in the wheat penny pile right there. We found 3 wheat pennies so far. 1 war nickel. I love it. Lots of copper. Let's see how much copper is in here. Let's see. 1. Is this copper? Nope. Sometimes the 90s look like copper, but they're not. Let's see here. This might be copper. What does that say? 78? Yep. Copper. Is that copper? 2001? Nope. Let's see, this might be copper. 82. Almost copper. Let's see, this might be copper here. 76. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. I should say. Don't want to get, well, this channel's not monetized. Not monetized yet. I'm trying to get it monetized, though. I feel like my only chance for monetization is with this new-ish channel. And I'm trying to behave myself, guys. I'm trying my best. But we had to bring up some controversial topics today. You know, I really do enjoy talking about that kind of stuff, but it's like, if social media is going to make it impossible, if they're just going to punish you for it, you know, what is the point? There is no point. Put that in the shiny copper pile. There is no point. If you're just going to be punished and pretty much abused online, there's just no way. There's no way. Okay, so we got about 4 rolls left. Not finding anything other than, you know, copper. I mean, look at all this copper. It took us about 20 rolls, but we found a pretty decent amount of copper. So far, you know, that's pretty much the highlight. Of course, the wheat pennies, that nickel. If I find anything else interesting, I will film it, and I'll do a little recap here when I'm done. So we did find our first 2009, not a very nice one, but I am going to stack it. I've got a pile of dirty 2009s and a pile of more pristine ones. This is Lincoln sitting on a log. Kind of hard to see it, but I'm going to put that one away. It's the first 2009 we have found, so maybe there's a couple more. We'll just have to see. We did find another 2009 with Lincoln sitting on the logs. We'll put that over there. And here is the last roll. But I got to say, I mean, you can see all this copper we have. That's probably 2, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 rolls. I'm not exactly sure. Got some shiny copper. These 2 piles here are the more shiny copper coins. But let's just see. This is the last roll. Maybe we'll get a gold coin from 1870 or something. I don't know. I've heard crazy stories like that. All right, let's see. Do we got some copper in here? At least I'll settle for copper, right? I'll settle for copper. Yep, it looks like we do got some copper. Some of these rolls, it was like, I don't know, maybe almost every other coin or every 3 coins was copper. All right, guys. Well, I am all coined out, but we searched through all of these. I mean, this was a shit ton of coins, and we did find some really good stuff. We found some nice copper. I mean, this is, I didn't count it yet, but this is probably about 2.5 rolls. Then we've got some really beautiful, shiny copper, right? Always separate those, the ones that just have a little bit better luster. I mean, this last one I found, absolutely beautiful. Then we also found a bunch of 82s as well, so we're going to stack those. We've got the wheat pennies. Let's just take a little bit of a closer look here at the wheat pennies. I mean, it's always a pleasure to find those. I'm working on almost a whole roll that I have found. I did buy a few rolls because I wanted more in my stack, and my bullion dealer sells bags, 5,000 of these for $200. Should I get it? What do you guys think? That's like a 5,000. I think that might be $100 worth. No, it's $50 worth. I'm sorry, $50 worth is 5,000. So for $50 worth of wheat pennies, you have to spend $200. I don't know. Should I do it? Maybe I will. And then, of course, the star of the show was the silver 1944 silver war nickel. Very happy with that. So comment down below, leave me a like. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, until next time, God bless.